Michelle Bishop, and I'm sitting here and I'm working my butt off, and I'm currently slamming a Spark, getting that done. I'm on a cleanse, so I've got my fiber in here too, but today is just great. I've also finished Rehydrate, and I'm just feeling awesome. I'm super hyper, and it's just wonderful. But also, this is a book that I'm reading for any of you guys who care, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. It is incredible, and actually, I'm going to go ahead and read you something that I read this morning, because it is really, really great, and I think if you heard it, you would like it. My phone's going to go nuts because I'm getting lots of texts today. But, come on. Okay, it says, this is really wonderful, so listen up. Turn your volume up. It says, motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. That's the law of consistency. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how many opportunities you receive. If you want to grow, consistency is key. The thing that I forgot to is, I'm still a big believer in motivation. Everyone wants to be encouraged. Everyone enjoys being inspired. But here's the truth when it comes to personal growth. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you going. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, because if you're somebody who's constantly looking for motivation, that's great. Motivation is really something that comes from within, but discipline is going to be something that you apply every single day to get you to go where you want to go. And this looks really silly, but I'm just disgusting. I just did cardio. I did cardio like 3 hours ago, but I've not gotten up from my seat. I've been working. But really quick, I just wanted to tell you guys and fill you in a little bit as to where I have been, and it's just been incredible. So my life in the past, month, I got to experience and do so much. Gosh, this is driving me nuts. Please ignore that. But I've got to experience so much. You know, we went to Hilton Head with a bunch of our team, and that was absolutely incredible. And it was so cool because I did not, if you guys noticed, I did not get on social media for a long time on Instagram. And so I was very, very in the moment with my team. A lot of times I didn't even have my phone. I was having other people take pictures. And it was so funny actually scrolling through my phone one day. I had not one selfie. And there was never a time when I'd wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I got to get myself together to take a selfie. And as silly as that sounds, it's something that actually would cross my mind back in the day. And so, or, even just wondering, caring about what you look like, or, gosh, I feel so bloated today, whatever. It's silly. It's so silly, but that shows you how much social media was really controlling my mind. But, there's a couple reasons as to why I backed off of social media for a while. And number one was really because I felt a lot of it was consuming me, my mind, as much as I say it's not. And, anybody who feels the need to have to post daily, really it's consuming them. It's something where they feel that they're getting a worth from people, and that they're not being fulfilled. So that was me. Something I felt like if I didn't post that day, I wasn't, I feel like it wasn't getting filled up. And so that was an issue for me, because I shouldn't be looking for anybody else to fill me up other than Jesus. And so I know you guys probably get tired of hearing that, but that's the honest to God truth. And so I was like, I don't need anybody else's opinion. I don't need validations from anybody. I don't need anybody to make me feel that I'm worthy of anything. I'm not worthy of anything, to be completely honest with you. But that is the good news, and that's why Jesus died for us all. And so I stepped off, and I can't tell you, number one, how beautiful I felt in my own skin, how much I have enjoyed life. Like, seriously, I have had so many different kinds of Chips Ahoy cookies, the red velvet, the s'mores, the black and, or the brown and regular chocolate chip Reese cup ones, and I had the Fruity Pebble Oreos, and I've had some popcorn, and I had vanilla wafers and oatmeal, the oatmeal something covered cookies when my mom was here. And so my point with that is, you guys, is that I really just haven't cared. I've been working out, still got something going on. But that doesn't matter, I promise, because I've been just so mentally healthy and happy with where I'm going, and just in the moment and enjoying. And so when my mom was like, let's do a movie night, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get some cookies, and we'll do some popcorn. And of course, I went for vanilla wafers, because you can have 7 for like 120 calories or something. And then, the popcorn was like 110 calories for however much. So I always am watching and paying attention, but I have fun. And the old me used to be like, if I have a little bit, then I'm just going to go all out, and I have to eat the whole entire house. And I just found a place where I'm just very content. I eat because I eat when there's family and friends around, and we're having a good time. And my mom makes guacamole, and we had some lime tortilla chips with some fat-free cheese melted on top, and it was just great. It was just me living in the moment and making the most out of life. And so back in the day, I used to look at people like me and think that I wasn't dedicated or I wasn't disciplined enough. And I just, I think it's stupid that you have to sit around and food has to be part of social time with family. But gosh, I just laugh because I'm like, man, I was just so consumed and wrapped up in what I thought was success. And I actually made a post the other night, and it said that, my old definition for success, it breaks my heart because my old definition was, number one, anybody who is financially really, really set. People who are successful in life, have money in their bank account, and they're good financially. Secondly is they're physically fit. They look really good and really healthy, and their lean muscle mass, which is so silly, and their lean muscle mass and their body fat. Like if they are nice, lean, toned, that's a successful person. And then lastly was influence. How many followers do they have? How many people look up to them? And that's all great and dandy, but let me tell you something. Not one single thing of that matters whatsoever if you are not using it for the glory of God. If you're using it just for yourself, look at me, that's an issue. And none of that is going to give you eternal life. Every single bit of that, when you're on your deathbed someday, I pray and hope that Jesus knows that I know he's my ticket into heaven, and I hope that he knows that I live my life for him. And when I face him someday and I'm there in heaven and I can look at him and he says, Michelle, you are a sinner, but I know that you had a heart for me, and you had a heart that knows that I'm your father, and I just want to pick you up and love you, but I'm always here to forgive you. And that's my thing. And a lot of people, I'm totally going to get off topic and go a completely different way. But one thing that with social media that was really bothering me, and you're human you're not human if you don't feel this way. When somebody says a mean comment and, people are like, oh, I just let it roll off. But I'm like, okay, I did for so long. I just let it roll off and was like, oh, it doesn't bother me. But come on, if you have any heart, if your heart is there is just a heart. I don't know what I'm trying to say. If you have a heart at all, that's what I'm trying to say. Any comment that is a jab at you is a little bit going to say, because if you're like me, I want everybody to like me, right? And what's that quote? You could be the biggest, juiciest peach, but some people just don't like peaches. And that's what I've had to realize, is some people just aren't going to like me, but still in the back of my mind and my heart, it just sucks because I'm like, man, I know I'm a good person, and man, I wish I could give everybody the world, and I wish I could help everybody, but just because I'm me, Michelle Bishop, some people are not going to like me, and that's one thing that I have to know, and that will forever and ever hurt me. I'm human. That's the thing is, I hate that people aren't going to like me just because I'm me. And that's going to be something that will forever and ever probably rattle me because it breaks my heart. I'm like, man, why do they have an issue with me? But that's okay because once again is I don't care. I don't care. I shouldn't care. I do care because I'm human. I shouldn't care what anybody else thinks of me other than how I look in Jesus' eyes. And is Michelle on this earth, and is she having a servant heart, and is her heart changing for me? And, it says that any heart, I think it's in Philippines. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm saying that. Not Philippines. Look at me. I've not even read that book in the Bible yet. Here I am, such a new Christian. Look at me. Gosh, what book is it? It's Philippines, I think. Yeah, Philippines. It looks the same, doesn't it? I think it's Philippians. Okay, so it got me. But I'm pretty sure that this is the book that says that if your heart isn't aligned with Christ's, it is evil. And any heart that isn't aligned with Christ is deceitful. And that is what, I've had to realize is, if my heart is not aligned with Christ, it is a bad heart, and it's leading me towards things that I don't want in life. And so when people make comments like, Michelle, why don't you just do stuff? You say you're a Christian, but you don't live a very Christian life, and why don't you actually have, do stuff that shows that you're growing and stuff like that. When I try just to let that shrug off me because people don't even know me, and they don't even know the transformation that's gone on in my heart and the changes that I've made in my life. And, that's between me and God, and that's one time when I just have to keep saying, other people's opinions don't matter. And so, like I'm telling you guys, as much as superwoman as I want to be, and as much of a woman of God that I want to be, I'm human, and I have a heart, and it crushes me sometimes when people talk bad about me. And so, even me, somebody, people look at people with followings, whatever, and they're like, gosh, their life's so great, right? Gosh, if I could just if I could have a following. Let me tell you guys, sometimes it sucks because people can't relate to you. You know, you with the good, you get the bad too. And I just realized that I wasn't gonna put up with it anymore. And you know, there's a point when that can turn to bad. And it was literally in the back of my mind starting to make me question myself sometimes. But I know that I have a good heart. But when people make comments like that, it's like, am I not doing enough? And you start to question, are you enough? And let me tell you guys something. You are enough and I'm enough. And so I just said, I am out of here for a while because there is a lot of good people say that I have been able to do via social media, but that none of that matters if in my heart I'm not content and I'm not at peace and I'm not comfortable with where I am in life. And so I really need to step away and literally wrap my arms in my life and say, Jesus, here I am a sinner, pick me up and let me know that you love me. And so that is all I've been doing in the last month, is literally not caring what anybody in this world has to say. I have been surrounded by my friends, my family, the people who love me the most, and I have never felt so beautiful, so valued, so loved, and it has been incredible. And so that is where I feel like I have gained strength again, and I said, you know what, I think it's time for me to step back on social media. But I don't know if I'm going to share as much of my life or be as vulnerable because, you know, a lot of you guys say, that's so great, but I don't know if I'm ready to do that right now because my life is special to me, and I'm tired of it being picked at. And so, you know, I know that there's certain parts that I can share that will hopefully help unite or ignite a fire in somebody or help them believe in themselves. And I don't want to change that about myself, but ultimately, it's what are you using your following for? And, you know, I really just, Michelle needs to grow, and I've really been trying to grow lately and lead the right example. And so that is why I took time away from social media. And then as far as Journeys goes, you know, I'm not doing it anymore. And it was really cool because when I was in Ohio and I was doing Journeys, you guys, it really, you know, I set out to do this and have it be like, you know, training and then a little bit of my day, you know, maybe editing a YouTube video. But guys, it was 5:30, I would get up, I would be at the gym by like, I think 7 a.m. I was doing training, do an, you know, hour of cardio after. I was coming back from my second cardios. I would get home and I would edit my videos to like noon or 1 and then trying to get them to upload. And it was nuts. And I was literally like the whole beginning part of my day was consumed. Oh, and then, you know, having to make the pictures for the YouTubes, and that alone took time. And so literally the whole beginning, if not more, part of my day was consumed by Journeys. And then, you know, along with that there was more stuff that was starting to get thrown on my page, you know, on my plate, like interviews and stuff like that. And that was all really cool, but I have got such a phenomenal business and job right here, and I've got my husband, and I've got my faith, and you know, my faith and my husband, that is going to get number 1 over everything. Number 2 is my career, my job, my love, my passion. That is really for right here, for what I do, is helping people, not just physically, but literally, financially, and everything, be able to build a life that gives them choices and freedom. And so that is my passion. And the part that breaks my heart is I'm so guilty, and I'm being transparent with y'all, that I put that on the back burner because I have this new exciting thing on my plate. And sometimes my career, it can get draining because I'm pouring myself out, but I gotta fill myself back up. And this is on me, is when I don't make time to read and grow, I become dull and I become tired, and then all of a sudden I let distractions get in the way. And so, not saying Journeys was a distraction, it was just way more than I can handle right now. And the other thing is that I believe that, you know, for somebody that would be a phenomenal opportunity, such a cool opportunity, but for me at the time, I believe that a little bit of the enemy was coming in and trying to suck me back in. And you guys, you're probably thinking like, oh, you know, enough of this, but I'm dead serious, I promise you that. And I can just tell you that it was consuming how I thought about myself again. I was posting pictures of myself that Michelle a month prior would not have agreed with. And so, you know, the belly shots you know, me flexing all the time and all these selfies. And I'm really trying to take the approach off of me. You know, I think selfies are beautiful. I think it's cool to show people this is what I'm doing, I'm happy, life is good. But for constant 5 pictures, here, me, all the time, my heart does not agree with that anymore. And I feel like, you know, trying to just, it's putting the glory on us once again. I'm trying to put it out. You know, it's not about me. And, you know, Mother Teresa says, let me be the pencil in your hand, God, of the greatest love letter. And that's all I want to be. And I want to be the pencil. That's it. And so I'm not going to be taking pictures of a pencil all the time. I want to be taking pictures of Jesus and the beautiful thing that he's created in this beautiful letter. And the pencil is just the tool, and I hope that I am someday just worn up, and by the time that I pass, I do not have an ounce of love, passion, anything left in me, because I have left it here. And that is what I'm doing. And so Journeys, it was phenomenal, but I do believe that the old Michelle, not Michelle Bishop, Michelle, if you will, was really starting to get this mindset back. I was starting to become obsessive with, gotta get my cardio in. I was making it a priority, and literally one day I started crying, and I told John, I said, I'm so sorry, baby, that I've been so busy and that I've been neglecting you. And he looked at me, he smiled, he said, I know you've been busy, you've been working so hard, it's okay. And it wasn't okay, you guys, because I was at a point when my husband and my career was getting the rest of me instead of the best of me. And that is when I realized I had to make a change. And so I have this little cross in my car, and it says prayer heals. And I'm a really bad prayer, if you will, really, really bad. And so I try so hard just to talk to Jesus and talk out loud and pretend that he's sitting right here. One girl said, buckle up your passenger seat so it feels like he's right. He is right there, but it kind of just helps you put into perspective that he's your friend. He's sitting right there. Just talk to him. And so I've been trying that. But one thing that really helps me focus when I pray is I have this cross in my car, and I'll hold on to it, and I'll be driving, and I just pray. And the whole time I'm holding on to it, it's reminding me, like, you're in the middle of prayer, don't let your mind go elsewhere. So I just pray. And I literally prayed out loud, and I said, Lord, you have got to show me where you want me, because I feel Journeys is doing so much good, and it's so awesome, it's going to help so many people, but I'm only Michelle, and I can only handle so much, and there's only so much time in the day, and I feel it's pulling me away from other really great things in life. And where do you want me? You've got to show me. Is Journeys a Michelle thing, or is it a God thing? Where do you want me? And literally, I promise you guys, I am a girl that needs signs. And if you look, and if you listen, and you look, God will show you stuff. I pinky promise you. He says that over and over in Mark and Matthew. He says, if you look, I will show you. If you have ears and you want to hear, it'll be there. I'll speak to you. And so I literally, everything, any signs, I was just looking. And that is the day, you guys, when I decided to have my Bible out of all days. And let me show you guys something. In the back of the book, there are, where is it? So John is in the Bible 4 times. Okay, so there's John, and then in the back of the book is John. And I never realized, where are they? Here I am. Okay, look at this. First, second, and third John. And so that's the only, this, out of every book in the Bible, John is in there 4 times. So I'm sitting there tabbing my Bible, and I prayed that morning, and it's like John. And I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, okay, I'm listening. John is my number 1. He needs me right now. And you guys might say that's crazy, and that's okay. But I do believe with my whole heart that my husband, he should be one of those top priorities in my life. And he needs Michelle. He needs his wife. He needs love. He needs respect. And I was not giving that to him because I was tired. So I might, baby, I'm just tired. And I would just bark or be grouchy. And that's not okay. That's not the Michelle he deserves. That's not the Michelle that's going to lift him up to become the man that he wants to be. And so, I had some other signs, and it's related to something else, and I don't want to talk about that right now, but it was very, very blunt to me that what I needed to do, and I was scared to death. So I called some of my closest mentors, and I talked to them, and I said, I know what I need to do, but I'm so scared because I committed. I told Mike that I would be there for him, and that I would do this, and I've signed papers, and I'm in. And, that is where, guys, literally, I don't think I've ever been so scared to do something in my entire life. And as crazy as that is, because I love Mike so much, and I look up to him so much. And so making this phone call really was like making me sick to my stomach. I sat in my kitchen, and I literally looked at my dad just crying like, man, I don't want to let him down. Like, come on. Like, gosh, I don't want to let him down. And my dad's like, Mickey Mouse, you know what you got to do, baby doll. Like, pray about it. Like, God's going to be in it. And I called my mom, and she said, baby, get on your knees and pray. You guys, I promise you, I have never knelt before my bed. And you may think this is crazy, like, Michelle, it's not a big deal. But you don't know everything that has happened and that's gone through my head. And so I'm sitting there kneeling on my bed, and I'm praying and crying out to God, saying, Lord, will you please be in the middle of this? Because this is one of the scariest things that I have ever had to do. And please, Lord, be in the middle of this conversation and let him know my heart, and let him know that I'm not letting him down, and I'm not just trying to back out of this, but it's not where I'm supposed to be at the moment. This is not where you want me to be. Please, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, please be in the conversation. And so I picked up that phone, and I made the phone call. And you guys, it was the most beautiful phone call. And I sat there and was just grinning and laughing, and I was like, so straightforward, which I'm so bad at doing. I'm so bad at confrontation. I'm weak in areas of my life. I have a heart, and so I try to beat around bushes, and I'm not good. And so I was strong. I was bold in my approach. I talked from my heart, and I told him exactly what was going on, and he was okay. He said, it's okay. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. And he goes, you probably didn't think this phone call was gonna go this way, did you? I said, not at all. Like, thank you so much for being so understanding. And he opened up and he told me about his life and stuff that he was going through. And, it was just, God, it was so beautiful. Like, thank you, Lord, for being in that conversation and having your hands on it. And I walked away like, wow, like that is the power of prayer, and that is good heart right there. And, not that Mike doesn't have a good heart, but man, if somebody were to tell me, commit to me like that and say, I can't do this, I would be heartbroken, but I hope that I would have the grace that Mike did with me. And so I made the decision, I got out of it, and it was incredible. And so, I really hope that Mike knows over, the last month that I was with him, how much I was putting out there and trying to do for him and get, his phenomenal app out, MBFU, and it's gonna launch soon. It's so incredible, and I highly recommend that you guys all still do it, and I'll be downloading it too. But it's just not where my heart's supposed to be at the moment, because I'm still weak in areas of my life, no matter how much I try to say I'm not. And I want one more thing for you guys to know. A lot of you guys may see Michelle Bishop constantly going different directions in her life, and those of you who don't understand having a relationship with Jesus, you think of me as, gosh, you just can't stick to something. And that's okay if that's how you want to view me and that's how you want to judge me. That's absolutely okay. But I hope you guys out there who are Christians and who do live a life for Jesus and who do live a life not for themselves but listening, where does God want me in life? I hope you guys see that. I'm in a transition phase right now, and that's another big reason why I stepped off, because I didn't want people to see me trying to find out where do I belong, and I really do believe that I didn't belong on social media for that period of time, and who's to say if he pulls me back off it again. But it was so big on my heart, and it was like, I need to go, and I did not miss it one moment. It was so freeing, but I do feel that I owed it to all of you guys to tell you guys, share with you the transformation of my heart that I've made over the last month, why I did it, the happiness, the fruits that came out of it. It has just been so incredible, and I really believe that self-love, I have found myself. I love me, you guys. Like, I'm not where I used to be at all, and I'm okay with that. Like, I am beautiful, I am me. All that matters is when somebody talks to me, I hope to God what comes out is something that blesses their day, and that's it. That's me. And yeah, it'd be great to feel beautiful, but that's all a plus, right? It's really what goes on right here is the true beauty, and beauty's only skin deep. One of my favorite songs by The Temptations. But don't get me wrong, I want to be beautiful, and all girls, I think we all are beautiful, and we all should feel beautiful because we're made beautiful. But gosh, I could go on and on forever. But I really hope that you guys just know where I've been. This is me. I hope you understand and support everything that I'm doing. And I encourage you guys, if you are listening to Jesus and your heart is telling you to go in a different direction, follow it, and do not care what anybody else thinks, because people are going to say you're not sticking to stuff and whatever, and only you know what's going on in your heart. And so I encourage you, say, is that going to get me to a better place in life? Is that going to allow me to serve more people? And whatever your heart's telling you to do, go follow it. Jesus desires a deep relationship, an intimate relationship with you, and you are his, and he's beautiful. And whatever mess that you're in right now, the good news is, religion aside, religion tells you need to do this, and that to get to Jesus. The beautiful thing about having a relationship with Jesus Christ is him saying, you know what, child, you are in this mess. Come here, like, give me a hug, and just jump, like, literally, we're able to just jump in his arms, and he just holds us so tight and says, I love you, child. Thank you for coming to me, and I love you right here. And we can repent right away and run towards Jesus and know that he loves us for us right here. There's nothing that we have to do to earn our way to heaven. All you have to do is say, Jesus, I believe you died on the cross for me, and, you forgive me for all of my sins, and because of you, I will have eternal life someday in heaven, and, live a life that of love. Jesus is love, and so that is all I've got to say. Here I am, just vomiting all over you guys, but this is my heart. I love you all. I hope this message comes across the right way. I'll be talking to you guys soon, but that's all I've got. So, have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.